But first, we're going to begin with our big story right now at 5 safe storage violations. More and more kids getting a hold of unsecured guns. Thank you for joining us. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Simon Shaquette. In the last week, Metro Detroit has seen one child injured and another killed after getting access to unsecured firearms. 2 parents facing charges after a 5-year-old boy shot himself in the head in Westland last Thursday and later died. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says it's seen a total of 7 cases so far that never had to happen.
The state of Michigan put safe storage laws in place back in February, but are they working? 7 News Detroit reporter Whitney Burney is raising the voices of a Detroiter, pastor, and the Wayne County prosecutor. Whitney.
One of the latest incidents of a child getting an unsecured firearm happened right here in this West Side neighborhood at this home here behind me. The scary moment of that shooting now leading neighbors and community leaders to wonder what more can be done. Tuesday morning,
I was in the kitchen and my wife was gone. And I heard somebody banging on the door.
Neighbors near Freeland and Linden on Detroit's west side startled by something they never imagined would be their reality.
When I came to the door, I said 6, 8 of a policemen, but they were kicking in the door.
A child getting hold of an unsecured firearm and shooting his teenage sister.
And it's just sad. All these kids getting shot these days over no supervision, over these 6, 7, 8, 10, 12-year-old kids. It's ridiculous. It's the parents' fault. No doubt about it.
While the teen is expected to recover, the case joins a growing list of similar incidents across Metro Detroit.
This is a unique American problem. This is not the rest of the world. This only happens in the United States of America, where gun violence is the leading cause of death of children.
Pastor Barry Randolph of the Church of Messiah in Detroit has been working to prevent gun violence for nearly 20 years, hosting the annual Silence the Violence Walk.
I know people have guns because they want to protect themselves from things like burglars, this, that, and the other, people from the outside. But now you got to think about the protection on the inside.
Randolph says cases like these are the reason his team advocated for Michigan's safe storage law, which took effect in February. But is it working?
I don't think we can deter it from happening, but what we can do is make sure people know about these laws.
Prosecutor Kim Worthy speaking to 7 News Detroit over the phone. Her office has rendered charges in 7 unsecured firearm cases so far this year.
Everybody's talking about it now because we have the laws in place to make sure that we have the tools that we need to charge these crimes. So yes, from the global standpoint, I think it has been successful. I think as time goes on, we may even prevent a few lives.
Everybody's not necessarily getting the message, but I do believe that people just think this is not going to happen to me. My child, if they see it, they're not going to pick it up. They're not going to do anything. Children are naturally curious. You never know. Be on the safe side. Lock it up and be safe.
On the west side, Whitney Burney, 7 News Detroit.
Thank you, Whitney. Michigan's safe storage law officially hit the books this year, but as we know, some parents still are not following the rules. The law states unattended weapons must be unloaded and locked with a locking device or stored in a locked box or container if a minor is unlikely to be present. This went into effect back in February and is punishable by misdemeanor and felony charges even. In the very worst cases, if a minor kills themselves or another, they could spend up to 15 years in prison and or pay a $10,000 fine. Now today I tracked down the author who helped write Michigan's Safe Storage Gun Act to talk about the ongoing issue of kids still getting access to guns. Oftentimes the outcomes are tragic and the incidents continue happening despite a tough new law designed to prevent what's happening across our state. State Senator Rosemary Bayer from Oxford talking to me about her belief more awareness is needed to keep kids safe from the city to the suburbs.
I think most people don't even know that there's actually legal penalties now if something happens. So our big focus, I mean, people don't realize if you have a firearm in your house and a child gets access to it, and if you take it to someone else's house and a child gets access to it, or you leave it in your car and a child gets access to it, if they use that gun and hurt themselves or someone else, it's a 5-year felony, a 5-year felony. If they use that gun and kill themselves or someone else, it's a 10-year felony.
What more needs to be done in terms of raising awareness to prevent these incidents from continuing to happen?
The House up here in Lansing, the House of Representatives yesterday passed a bill, the first stage of moving it through the system, that would allow schools to send information home to families.
The state Senate will review that bill for possible changes before it could go to the governor for her signature. And Bayer tells me the law is making a difference, but too many people still don't have the critical information and consider this is the #1 killer of children.
And this is not a state effort only. I mean, the country federally is pushing for this.
Exactly. You know, I had a chance to speak with Senator-elect Alyssa Slotkin, who's introduced some legislation federally to try and do similarly what we've done here in Michigan, and she's still working on that.
All right, more to come. Sad to see the outcomes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.